Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Savage Mikey. That's right, it's the Master of Dimension X, getting a brand new figure in the Nick Turtles lineup. If you've been following the new cartoon series, then you might remember that this figure is based on the time that Mikey was the first member of the Turtles team to cross over into Dimension X, where we found out that he's the smarter one in that dimension. He becomes the leader of the team. So let's go ahead and check out Savage Mikey. As you can see, he comes on that standard blister card packaging, fully showcasing the figure within, and when you flip that around to the backside, we get a bio on Savage Mikey that comes straight out of the cartoon series, and below that we get a look at several of the current and upcoming TMNT action figures. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a closer look at Savage Mikey outside of the packaging. So the things that really make this figure different than any of your standard Mikeys is the outfit that he's wearing. You'll notice that he's got this new blue belt that's got the little cross straps going across his chest there. And it is made of a different material than his standard outfit, because you can see it's kind of like it was put together or built while he was there in Dimension X. It's very kind of crooked. You got these little pieces hanging off the front of it there. Pretty cool. And then, of course, he's wearing the signature Krang skull on the top of his head as a helmet. And dangling from his arms and one of his legs are Krang tentacles. Talk about Savage Mikey. How intense is that he's wearing parts of Krang? I always thought that was pretty crazy, but it's a really cool look, and I actually feel like it translated pretty well into action figure form. Let's go and take a look at those pieces a little closer. We'll start with the Krang skull on top of his head. It's a really, really neat accessory. Now, it's mostly just molded in a straight pink. It does have the blue markings on the front, which are right out of the cartoon series. That's how it appeared there. Not quite as detailed as the way it looked in the show, but, you know, it does have some nice sculpted-in details there. Got very cool porous look to it, and all the little spines kind of sticking off the top. And one of the things I really like about this, it's removable. You can actually pop this off of the figure to reveal the standard Mikey head underneath. It's made of a bit of a pliable plastic. You can see it's a little squishier, and it actually fits very nicely on the head. It just kind of snugly fits right there over the top. The eyes perfectly see through the mask there. It's really, really neat. I like it quite a bit. Now down here on the harness, this is molded in just a blue, with the pieces on the front painted white. I will say that the paint going across the front is a bit sloppy. I mean, you can see how slapped on that white paint is, so that's a bit of a bummer. I'm glad that we've got some paint deco. I just wish it was a little bit cleaner on there. Then the tentacles wrapped around those arms are just separate pieces that are put onto the figure there. They're just molded in pink. They're the same kind of softer plastic as the helmet. And that's fine. That looks totally fine. The one hanging off his leg does defy gravity a little bit because it sticks straight out. It's not dangling. But it's pretty cool. I really like that. Otherwise, the rest of the body is very standard for Michelangelo. And the paint is exactly what we would expect, with the exception that the wraps on his hands are left unpainted on this one, which is a bit of a bummer. I wish we had the white paint on the straps, but otherwise all of the rest of this looks exactly like we would expect it to on our Mikey action figures. In fact, this Mikey is the same as the Battle Shell Michelangelo, with the only difference being that you can't open the shell on this version. But if you take a look, the rest of the body, including the head sculpt, is exactly the same. So if you've got that Battle Shell Mikey, you already know what to expect as far as the sculpt goes. We just have these little extra accessories that are built onto the figure. So that should mean you know what the articulation's like, but let's go ahead and run it down real quick. That head's on a ball joint, so you can look left, right, kind of roll all the way around there. We do have like the hinge joints there at the shoulder, so the arms can go upwards, forwards, and backwards. Swivels at the elbow, standard elbow joint, swivels at the wrist. We've got the nice hinge joints at the thigh, so legs can go outwards, forwards, backwards, great range of motion there. Swivel at the knee, as well as a joint at the knee. So like usual, the Turtles have the best articulation in this line. So you should be able to get some pretty good poses out of this guy. And to add to that, he does also come with a standard set of nunchucks. They're no different than the ones we've already seen, so that we can put those in his hands there and kind of arm him up and make them ready for battle. I do think it would have been cool if we got some more Krang or Dimension X specific accessories. In the cartoon series, we saw him using these little Krang crystals. Would have been neat if he had maybe one of those to hold on to, or maybe the rope weapon or anything like that. It would have been cool to have something a little extra, but, Mikey's known for the nunchucks, so that's fine as is. So it's pretty neat seeing this guy in the line. Now, it's not the first Mikey variant we've had, so it's kind of cool seeing these different versions of Mikey coming straight out of the cartoon series and being made into action figure form. And no doubt it's going to be a very popular one. While I do think that it should have a bit more paint deco, which is kind of how I've been feeling about a lot of the Turtles figures. Overall, I really like this guy. He's bright and colorful. He looks pretty cool. He does a pretty decent job of capturing the fun aspect of this character straight out of the cartoon series. And now you can get him on your shelf leading the rest of the Turtles into battle in Dimension X. So Savage Mikey is starting to hit store shelves right now with a whole slew of new TMNT action figures. So definitely get out there and start hunting, guys. Happy hunting! And until next time, my friends.